What's the latest news in my battle with Freddy the Bastard, my lovely tumour? Why am I suddenly eating everything in sight? Who's driving me up the wall or down the mountains to my hospital appointments? What's the nuclear bunker like, where I'm going to be flooded with deadly radiation and turn into the Hulk or something? And who is Public Enema number 1? Come this way, through the curtain of blurred colons, and find out what it feels like inside my complicated head. Welcome to my U2 Spain diary. Hi, Skatz here. It's Friday, March the 8th, and this is video diary number 12. It's another 2 weeks until my radiotherapy and chemo begin, but I have loads to chat about because for a start I didn't even get halfway through my list of things that you wanted to know about on last week's diary. And my mind has been racing with what you've been asking me since then. So let's get on with it. Yes, Skatz, get on with it. Oh, there's going to be a competition for you at the end, all about enemas, so don't miss that. It's sure to be a blast. See what I did there? Yeah, so thank you. I have to say thank you. I do it at this point in the video every time. I bet you're getting used to it now, but I'm still going to keep on doing it. Yes, thank you for the tons of support messages. I love you all. And the donations, of course, to the GoFundMe page that the lovely Amanda set up to make sure that we can cover all of the work we'll be missing while I'm all shriveled up with radiation and Liz is too busy looking after me to do as much as she can. So anyway, there's no way of knowing exactly how long this could last or what effect it's going to have on me, but thank you in advance for keeping the donations coming in. There's talk of a fundraising gig down in Nerka, that lovely place down on the coast. That's going to be at some point, I don't know when, and there's possibly one going to be up here in the mountains as well. So that will be fun for everyone. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, but if I can make it and sing a song to you as well, then I will. You might even be lucky enough to hear Liz sing too. Ooh, well, you're in for a treat if that happens. You really are. Ooh, and a quick thank you to the lovely Ant and Kes for sending me this lovely present to make me smile. There it is, and you know what it is. It says on the thing here, they've actually made this. Peas and fluff. Yes, it's got some peas inside a pod. Yes, it does. That's absolutely lovely. Thank you. Mwah. That makes me laugh. And also, thank you in advance to everyone who's offered me a lift to the hospital and back when the treatments begin. I love you all too. Excuse me. Oh, it's making me burp, the very thought of it. You all know who you are. I was going to actually name check you all on this, but I think I should ask you first in case some of you don't want to be name checked. And then I'll do that on the next video, shall I? Yes, of course I shall. Well done, Skatz. Lots of people, I don't know why I'm talking to myself so much. I'm the only one in here. Lots of people have been asking me how I feel, and I'm okay at the moment. I still have the usual pain and some blood. It's not changed significantly, or has it? I don't think so. Although at times it's more uncomfortable, not more comfortable. Yeah, usually it's more uncomfortable than others. Maybe it is a bit worse. I do have a problem getting to sleep sometimes. That was before, but sometimes it's a bit more painful. But that's the time it feels like I need to go to the loo the most. Actually, that's the best description of what the pain feels like. Needing to go for a poo. Quite a big poo with some trapped wind thrown in there for good measure. So it can be quite sharp occasionally, but normally it's just a kind of that permanent general ache is what keeps me awake. But I usually find something to watch on YouTube anyway, so keeps me occupied until that sort of fades out by about 1 o'clock in the morning, and then usually I can get to sleep. If I'm a passenger in the car being driven down the mountains, that tends to hurt more than usual as well. I guess it's my insides being jiggled about that does it. But it's strange that it doesn't feel like that when I'm driving though. That is a bit bizarre. It also feels a bit bizarre, just the whole thing of having cancer. I mean, it doesn't really feel much like it's any different from a normal day, you know. It's still me here making videos and stuff, you know, but most of the talk around the town is about cancer. That's the only thing that's different, and people keep asking me whether I'm sick of talking about it, and I'm not yet. There's just not a huge amount left to add to the conversation. Not yet. It's sort of the calm before the storm. It's a bit eerie. Everything's a bit too normal. I think I'm going to be longing for normal soon, aren't I? So best not complain then, eh? Hey, listen, somebody asked me the other day, you know, when you cry in your videos, is it real? Because you're an actor, aren't you? Funnily enough, though, the times when I've got all emotional in the videos have been at a different point each time from when I thought I might get emotional when I was, you know, writing the script notes for what I'm going to say. Because I do have a script, because I want this to be snappy and interesting so that you don't fall asleep, but I don't always stick to it. There are quite a few times when I go off on a tangent, like I'm doing now. And I think I can safely say that each time I've had a moment, it's been a surprise to me. So that kind of answers the question, doesn't it? I guess the thing about being an actor is when that happens, it helps being an actor to allow the emotion to happen without me being worried about it. I can just go with the flow. I have to say, I'm not expecting to cry today. Sorry about that. If that's why you're watching, you might be disappointed. It's a bit strange that you're watching just to watch me cry. I'm not a performing monkey. But anyway, I'll see what I can do, shall I? You see, that's acting. Yeah, no, it's just very bad acting. So, hey, last week I promised to talk about the food list that they gave me at the hospital because there was some funny bits in it. I told you about, I think, the alcohol and exciting drinks last week, and that's on the food you should avoid list. Exciting drinks, as I told you, are the ones with caffeine in. So I'm a bit disappointed and slightly worried about not being able to have any caffeine at all, any coffee especially. I don't have much every day, just a couple of cups, but it does have a significant impact on the way that my brain works at the moment. Let's see what happens then, and you can judge for yourself. I'm sure that it sends me off on more tangents, and I do like tangents. You've noticed, haven't you? Watch this space. Oh, that one over there. See what I did there? Yeah. Right. So what else is strange on the list? I'm being a bit bizarre today. What else is strange on the list? I'll ask again. On the avoid side, it says vegetables. For example, they have to give examples of vegetables. Vegetables, for example, cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, lettuce, cabbage, artichokes. Yes, it says cabbage twice. So I'm going to avoid that twice, because that's a little bit funny. But on the allowed foods, it says cooked vegetables 2 or 3 times a week and raw vegetables 1 or 2 times a week. That's all of the vegetables, and that's most of the week. I think actually on the ones to avoid, I think it just means those ones that they've given examples of. Anyway, it was a bit funny the first time I saw foods to avoid, vegetables, foods to have, cooked vegetables and raw vegetables. I should have read it properly the first time. On the general recommendations, it says, avoid drinking in jugs. I don't think I'd fit in a jug, even if I was on a diet. Anyway, then there's no sucking on candy. Fortunately, I don't know anyone called Candy. So, that's some of the fun things on the list. I might talk about some of the other ones next week, because that's when I start the list. What I've been thinking about and doing this week in the lead up to the 14th of March, when I have to start following the list, is eating absolutely anything and everything I can get my hands on, especially all of the things that I won't be able to eat from the 14th onwards, and it's making me feel so naughty. Yes, it's also all of the foods that I don't normally eat, all of the carbohydrates that I avoid because of being a diabetic. So I've been following everyone's advice that they've given me, which is eat whatever the hell you want. What difference is it going to make for a week or so? Just enjoy yourself. Pig out. The thing is, there's this huge battle going on in my head, which is why I put that battle scene on the thumbnail to advertise this video. I'm absolutely loving the freedom to eat anything, and I agree. Physically, it's not going to do me any significant damage, just for a few days, even for a diabetic. And anyway, the chances are I'm going to lose loads of weight and be more or less fasting for weeks and weeks once I don't feel like eating anymore and I'm glowing with poisonous chemicals and radiation. So why is there a battle, I hear you ask? Why is there a battle, Skatz? Well, there's another part of me that recognises the food and sugar addict that I am. And this is quite serious. Addiction is a serious thing, and I recognise this in myself, and I do have to take that bit seriously because it takes me loads of mental strength to get back to controlling the symptoms of diabetes and be in that headspace when the temptations are there just to bury my face in a cheesecake and put on 7 pounds or more in a week, sometimes up to 7 kilos. Yeah, I can do that in a week. Very easy for somebody like me to do that. And the portion size, I'm going to show on the picture of the meal I had the other day. Lots of people have been ticking and liking it. I've had about 80 likes on this picture of food so far and what I've said about it. And it was a load of chips and a burger and some beans. Well, you can see it for yourself. You'd laugh if you actually saw the size of that plate. Look at the size of the knife and fork on it, and you'll be able to work out for yourself how big that plate is. Yeah, so I even, yesterday, while I was in Malaga, I had a piece of carrot cake and also a chocolate bar when I was driving home and getting diesel for the car. And I was buzzing with sugar for hours and hours afterwards. My pancreas can't handle it. It's damaged. That's the damage I've done from a very early age. And yet I'm still doing it. I'm doing it right now. So that's my battle. Hopefully that explains it to you. That's the war going on in my head. And I've had that ever since I was a kid, And I know you're going to say, don't worry, Skatz. Don't worry, Skatz. You're going to need all the extra energy you can get soon, so enjoy the blowout. And at least half of me agrees with you. In fact, most of me agrees with you. There's still, what have I got? I've got a curry night to come, there's pizza night, kebab night. There's probably a few other favourites to get through as well. I can't stop now. I've got an excuse. I've justified it. It's the same thing that happens every Christmas on the lead up to Christmas, and it gets earlier and earlier sometimes. Hey, I may as well just throw caution to the wind. That's what I say all of the time. So why not? Let's just have a pint of Guinness. That's got all the food groups in it. Hey, I was wondering the other day, and I've been dreaming about this as well, what is the room at the hospital like inside? And the one I'm talking about is the one with the radiation sticker on it. Warning, radiation. Don't even think about coming through this door. Liz said somebody told her that it's an underground bunker. Well, it is on the underground floor. But I'm just imagining that even below that, you just go down and down and down into this strange bunker with thick walls filled with lead. And I'm thinking that it's going to be like a scene from Frankenstein with lots of tubes with lightning flying about and crazy people in white coats and all their hair sticking up like that. And obviously there's got to be the occasional hunched assistant hobbling about carrying trays of gleaming instruments. For you, master, I have these things for you. Say hello to me, master. He doesn't even know me. Probably not going to be like that, is it? Right, I told you that was very silly, very disturbing. Right, I told you there was going to be a competition. I don't know if there's going to be a prize or not, to be honest. I haven't thought that far ahead, but we're definitely going to have some fun with this, and it's all to do with enemas. Yes, enemas, because they're so funny. I dare anyone to say otherwise. You know who you are. I have to have one the day before treatment starts, and another one in the morning, on the morning of the first treatment, and possibly more before I get tested at intervals? I don't know yet. I don't know whether there's going to be one every day, in which case it's going to be a bit difficult to hold the food down. I'm going to be eating something during the day, I don't know, at lunchtime, and then the evening I'm just going to poo it all away. So that's not going to be good for me, is it? Anyway, I've been trying to think of the names of films and songs, but replacing the word enemy with enema. Yes, this is fun, or is it? I'll tell you what I've got so far in a moment. But actually, what you're going to do is forget about the word enemy. Let's open it up a little bit more and just replace any one word in a film title or a song title with the word enema and see who can come up with the funniest ones. Yes, it's so fun. Here are the enemy ones. First of all, the films first. Enema of the People. That's not that hilarious, is it? Public Enema #1. It's getting better. Enema at the Gates. That's actually a good film. Behind Enema Lines. That's not funny. Sleeping with the Enema. Slightly better. But this one, surely the most appropriate one is this. The Enema Within. Sorry, that's a rude sign. No. Now, the songs. I couldn't find many of these. There's quite a few songs called Enemy, that's no good. You need other words to go along with them to make them even remotely funny. There's only two others that I could find that were remotely interesting. Know Your Enema, yes, and of course the enema inside. So if you replace any other word, I think it's slightly better. It's your turn next. How about it's a mad, 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 mad enema, or do-do-do-do-do-da-da enema. Are they funny or not? I don't know. I've lost all confidence in this competition. It's your turn. See if you can make them funny. Put them in the comments below and I'll pick a winner for next week's incredible video diary. So tune in next Friday for a thrilling episode of Feck Off Freddy. Keep your fingers and your toes crossed, you lovely people. And as always, yes, raise your drinking receptacle with me. Still alive! And of course, let's do the cancer dance.